Everything you learned about money is falling apart. Let me ask you something honestly. What job do you do right now? And don't lie to yourself. Do you actually believe that job will make you rich in 2026? Prices keep going up. AI is taking easy jobs. Houses cost way more than they should. Saving money feels useless. Most people feel this, but they don't want to admit it. So listen carefully. There are only two ways forward now. One way says, raise your standards. Stop living like average is acceptable. The other way says kill comfort. Stop choosing what feels easy. You cannot do both. And if you choose neither, nothing changes. So do this right now. Comment your job, then comment standards or comfort. In the next video, I'll show you exactly what your next move should be based on what you choose. Don't scroll. Decide. Not everything you were taught about money is a lie. I don't care about being humble. I don't care about fitting in. I don't care about being liked. I care about being free. The common man is getting destroyed. Inflation is eating your salary. AI is taking your job. Houses cost 10 times what they used to. Your savings account gives you nothing. The gap is closing forever. And you're running out of time. I want to tell you how the real world works. Not the fairy tale. Not the Disney version. The real version, where you either escape the matrix or you stay a slave forever. Let me tell you something about the world today. The golden age is over. In the 1960s, you could work a factory job. One wage, buy a house, buy a car, raise a family. Your wife respected you. Your kids listened to you. Life was done. Those days are gone forever. We're going back to the feudal system, kings and peasants. And if you're not a king right now, you better become one fast because the gap is closing. Inflation helps rich people. I own assets. My houses go up. My cars go up. My crypto goes up. Inflation is amazing for me. But for you, you're destroyed. Your money is worth less. Houses cost more. Your wage doesn't increase. You're getting crushed. And AI is coming. Your job is about to be worth even less than it already is. If you're a writer, AI writes. If you're a designer, AI designs. If you're doing anything a computer can learn, you're done. You'll manage the AI if you're lucky, and you'll get paid even less. Life is about to become exceptionally difficult for average people. Here's what scares me most. The gap is going to permanently close. In the old days, you could escape poverty through chaos, through war, through opportunity. But now, the Matrix has too much control. Electric cars can be turned off. 15-minute cities keep you contained. Digital currency tracks everything. There won't be enough chaos for you to escape. The people who are rich now will stay rich. The people who are poor now will stay poor. Unless you escape in the next 10 years. It's now or never. And you're not panicking. The Titanic just hit the iceberg. You're not in the water yet, but it's coming. It's certainty. And you're sitting there calm, watching TV, playing games, scrolling, not panicking. Why not? You know the economy is broken. You know you can't afford a house. You know you can barely pay bills. You know all of this, but you're not doing anything about it. You're sitting there thinking, maybe if I vote for this person, nobody you vote for is going to put money in your pocket. But you're still going to be broke. The boat is sinking, and you need to panic now. Let me tell you about when I knew I had to escape. I was 16 years old, walking to college in Luton. It was raining, walking with 3 friends. A red Ferrari pulled up at the lights at 4:30. Made a bunch of noise. Then tore off when the light went green. I said to my friends, bro, how do we get Ferraris? They looked at me confused. I said, my mom is on a council estate, single mother, 3 kids, 300 pounds a month. We can barely afford food. That man has 200 grand for a car, liquid. Something is broken. None of our teachers have Ferraris. None of our professors have Ferraris. Nobody we know has Ferraris. What do we have to do to break the matrix and find the money? And my friend said, I don't know. That's why I have 33 Ferraris now, and they don't. I was envious. I turned envy into anger. And anger is power. Most people don't care, but I cared enough to escape. There are only 3 reasons you can't get rich. Reason 1 saying you're stupid. Reason 2 saying you're lazy. Reason 3 is you're arrogant. That's it. And the truth is, it's not stupid. You're not too dumb to get rich. If I sat you down and said, do this, do this, do this, you could do it. You're not stupid. You're lazy. You're too lazy to learn how to do it yourself. And you're too arrogant to listen. When someone tells you what to do, you don't listen. You make excuses. You say, that won't work for me because arrogance. When I meet someone who's truly broke, I think they're an idiot. And I catch myself being elitist. But then I realized I started lower than them. I was on a council estate, single mother household, completely broke. And I made it out, so how are they still poor? Lazy or arrogant? That's the only answer. Here's something most people don't understand. You don't make money. You take money. Every dollar in your bank you took from someone else. You're not the Federal Reserve. You can't print money. When you sell a coffee, you took their money. When you sell a service, you took their money. This is player versus player. For every pound you take, you took it from someone else. So why are you trying to do this alone? Why are you trying to be Rambo? You need a team. If you were on the street and wanted to defend yourself, you'd want your boys around you. It's the same with getting rich. You need a team. Here's the problem. Finding 20 people you can trust is impossible. If you could get 20 men who trust each other completely, pool your spare income, you'd all get rich, even with normal jobs. Buy crypto, buy houses. You'd escape, but one of those 20 is going to snake you. One's wife is going to leave him and mess everything up. One woman is going to get in someone's ear. People are the problem. The most valuable thing on the planet is human capital. People. The people at the top only care about controlling people. You can't have a business without people. You can't have a government without people. You can't have anything without people. Your network is your net worth. Me and my brother have been a team since the beginning. Every battle we faced together. When I was starting a business that made no money, he worked a wage job so we had somewhere to live. We doubled our manpower. That's how we won. A lot of men want this, but women get in the way. Women don't like you having a strong masculine network because then you don't need them. They want you to need them. I'll help you, bro. I'll be your partner. Biggest mistake you can make. Don't start a business with your woman. Now you've got the relationship to manage in the business. Everything gets messy. People talk about following your passion. Find what you're passionate about and do that. Terrible advice. What they're really saying is only do what you like because you have no motivation to do anything else. Motivation is a scam. I don't believe in motivation. I believe in discipline. I'm not motivated to go to the gym every day. I'm not motivated to work. I'm not motivated to deal with problems. I'm disciplined. I do them regardless of how I feel. Whether I'm in the mood or not, it gets done. That's discipline. Motivation is fleeting. You're never going to be permanently motivated. If you can only try hard at something you enjoy, you're going to fail. Most things you enjoy don't pay money. If they paid money, you wouldn't enjoy them. It's called a job. Nobody likes their job. You like your hobby. Do you think the guy in China who owns a concrete plant is passionate about concrete? It's money. Be passionate about success. If you're passionate about money, you can be passionate about anything. I'll be passionate about any business on earth that pays me. If you pay me $1 billion to dig a hole, I'll be very passionate about that hole. Follow the money, not your passion. We live in an attention economy now. The most valuable currency is attention. It's extremely difficult to get because people's attention spans are lower than ever. Watch someone on TikTok. How long do they give a video to interest them? Maybe a third of a second. If you don't get their attention in 0.25 seconds, they're not interested. The apps and algorithms are retraining our brains. If you can find a way to hack these algorithms and get attention, you can monetize it. And you can become very wealthy. Rihanna launches a makeup brand. Nobody buys it because of the makeup. They buy it because it's Rihanna. She has attention. She can monetize it any way she chooses. Modern wealth creation methods are different. The old methods don't work anymore. Save your money. Put it in a savings account. Get a mortgage. That worked for old people. They were getting 4% interest. They bought houses for 85 grand. Those houses are worth $500,000 now, and they were earning 30 grand a year back then. Now you earn 40 grand a year. The house costs 10 times more. You get no interest on your money. Everything they're telling you is outdated. It doesn't work anymore. If you're the kind of person who quits because it's hard, leave. I don't want your energy around me. Quitters are the worst people on the planet. You can give a quitter everything and they'll still fail. You can give a quitter all the information, all the tools, all the mentorship, someone to message them every morning, and they'll still quit. They'll never have anything. I don't quit. Every single facet of my life is testament to that. When people see my plane in the sky, you can call me anything you want, but you cannot call me a quitter. I didn't quit. When it was hard, I did it anyway. That's who I've always been. If you don't have that kind of tenacity, you're never going to be anything. People who talk about passive income sound like quitters to me. They sound like people who don't want to work. I love work. I'm ready to work. You offer me $1 billion right now and give me a shovel, I'll dig a hole. I'm not afraid of work. Let me tell you about when everything became free. I went to Deauville, France to fight for a world title. I ordered 2 waters. Perrier, they were already $9 each. I paid for them and said to my brother, 20 quid for water. We were broke. We looked around. Tables full of water, champagne, food, $1,000 lunches. Nobody cared about the price, and we're sitting there worrying about the price of water. That dude's got lobster, big table. We're going wrong somewhere. I always knew there were people living outside the matrix. People where money didn't matter. I was always around it through fighting. Kazakhstan, all these places. Gee, wagons everywhere. People living for free. And now I'm at that level. I don't know the price of anything I eat or buy. If it's not a house or a car, I don't even think about it. If I want the new Maserati, I just text my guy. Fully spec, every option. It comes out of the bank. I don't even notice. Everything is free. That's how I view the world now. Dinner's free, coffee free, supercars are free, private jets are free. All they want is numbers on a screen. And numbers on a screen are nothing. You're telling me if I give you some numbers on a screen, you'll build me a Bugatti, take it. That's the level the world gets to. I miss the brokey days. When you have limitations, money makes life fun. When you have limitations, you're better at living in the moment. You're better at appreciating things. Now, no matter how much fun I'm having, it's always in the back of my mind, it could be more fun somewhere else. If I'm in Marbella at a party and my friend texts from Mykonos, part of me is thinking, should I just fly there? I can get there before the club closes. It's hard to live in the moment when you have unlimited choices. The brokey days were good days. You'd get McDonald's and laugh with your boys. Being rich is only fun because you can compare it to when you weren't rich. The only thing that makes a 10,000 steak fun is laughing about how you never had 10 grand in your bank until you were 27. Otherwise, it's boring. If you're born with too much money, you'll never truly be happy. You need the brokey days. Humans only feel acceleration. If you're driving at 200 move, you feel it. You only feel the acceleration getting to 200. My life feels fun now because of all the acceleration to get here. Without that, it's not even interesting. Humans don't learn lessons unless they're learned the hard way. You know a guy who almost crashes his car over and over. Doesn't slow down until he wrecks it. That's how people are. You need pain for the lesson to stick. If you want to learn about business, you're going to suffer at some point. Most people aren't successful with their first companies. A lot of people make money with their first company, but spend it all and act like idiots. And that's how you get discipline. On your fourth company, when you have $3 million in the bank, you just leave it there. You need to go through pain. You need to experience negative things. You need trauma to learn lessons. I think I'm responsible for everything. Whether I truly am or not is a different debate. But my mental model is every single thing that happens to me is my fault. All of it. If it rains, it's my fault. That's how much control I want over my life. Because if it's not my fault, I don't have control. If you absolve responsibility, you absolve authority over it. That's the biggest mistake men make. Oh, it wasn't my fault. Well, now you can't fix it. It's my fault. I didn't have to be so devilishly handsome. I didn't have to be so monumentally successful. I didn't have to be so brash, but I decided to be. So I take responsibility for all of it. There's a huge degree of jealousy wrapped up in this. If I was some short little guy and broke, nobody would care what I said. Because I remind nerds of the guy who beat them up in school. Because I'm big and tall and strong and smart. Because women love me. Because I have cars and hundreds of millions of dollars and a private jet. People are angry. I live the dream life of every man. So people want to put me in jail. Of course, there's jealousy. I understand why people are frustrated that I'm not in jail. They analyze my life forensically. I'll never have a fraction of his capability or his finance. The way these women stick by him, my wife would never stick by me like that. I hate him. I get it. Envy is designed to motivate, but the matrix has corrupted it. People feel envious, but they don't believe in themselves. So instead of elevating themselves, they try to drag others down. When people look at my life and feel envious, they should say he's from the most humble beginnings. Council estate. Single mother. Person of color. He made it to the highest echelons. If he can do it, I can do it. But they don't believe in themselves, so they try to drag me down instead. They want to level the playing field by dragging someone else down. That's laziness. People who aren't lazy see me as inspiration. But inspiration and envy are the same thing. The correct mental model for envy is inspiration. The incorrect mental model is attacking someone's character. Men want money because we want to be high-status males. Women want to be high-status females. But they don't need money to do that. They can do it purely through their aesthetics. If I was a woman, I would understand. I want to be the highest status female I can. I need to look good. Banging Instagram profile. Now I'm high status. Now billionaires want to talk to me. For a billionaire to want to talk to us, we need money. If there's a billionaire's boat, the girls who get on that boat just have to be pretty. That's it. For us to get on that boat, we have to be connected, important, rich, interesting. We have to know people. We have to network. It's hard. Different paths for different goals. A rich woman is not a high-status woman. If a woman is unattractive but has money, no one cares. I want the 19-year-old with big assets. Women are judged instantly on how they look. Men are judged instantly on our status. That's the real world. Here's what you need to understand. The gap is closing. The common man is about to get destroyed. You have maybe 10 years to escape. After that, it's permanent. You're either going to be a king or a peasant. And if you're not a king now, you better become one fast. Get a team. Stop quitting. Follow the money, not your passion. Take responsibility. Turn envy into action. It's now or never. The Titanic hit the iceberg. Get on a lifeboat now. Or sink with everyone else. Your choice. Do you want to be rich? Okay, then answer this fast. What's your plan? Because no plan means zero chance, not low chance. Zero. Most people say, I want to be rich. But when you ask them how, they freeze. They have nothing. Let me ask you something real. Are you living like the 5% or the 95%? The 95% talk about random stuff. They complain. They wait. The 5% plan. They train. They move. And listen, normal is dead. Normal job, normal life, normal money. That road is getting worse every year. So here's your choice today. You can stay normal or you can get serious and build a plan. Comment one word PLive in our RML and also comment your job. Next video, I'll tell you the first step for your plan based on your job. Do you want to be rich? What's your plan? No plan equals 0% chance. I ask people all the time, what's your dream? They say, I want to escape the matrix. I say, but will you? And I see in their eyes the flicker of doubt. They're confused by the question. Andrew, I want to escape the matrix. Will you? They don't know. They have no idea if they will or not. They don't believe if they will or not. They've never thought about that. It's easy to think about what you want. It's difficult to think about what you're actually going to have and do, because then you are accountable for that. Now you have to take action. So I ask you, do you want to be rich? And you say, yes, I do. I say, what is your plan to become rich? You say, I don't know. Then the chance is now zero. If you truly want to become rich like you said you did, then you would have a plan to make it happen. If you have a 0% chance of achieving something, then you don't want it very hard. You must be in a mind state where you understand that things must be planned for and prepared for. The biggest way to mess up your life as a man is to start sitting at home wondering and worrying, I'm not happy. I don't feel happy. How do I feel happy? Who said you ever should? Who told you in your infinite arrogance that you were ever designed or created by God to be happy ever? Since when is that owed to you? Why is happiness something you think you deserve? Maybe it is your destiny to live 100 miserable years. But this quest or idea of being happy, erase it from your brain. Blink and cure your mind. Change the software. You don't feel happy. You don't feel sad. You're either busy with things you need to do, or you've done enough to have a short respite before the next day. And your job is to become as important and capable and dangerous as possible. Life often gives you chances, and you get one shot. You don't get to replay them. You don't get to rerun them. Even the ones that you do get to rerun, you do get to replay. I guarantee if you pulled it off first time every time, your life would be completely different than if you pulled it off on the second time. Every time it'd be a different trajectory. There'd be no failure in the mix. The air wouldn't be stained with the stench of your inadequacy. You must be that good, that no matter what happens in life, even when the Matrix attacks you, even when you get curveballed, you can put on a nice suit, you can pull out some money from somewhere, put on a diamond watch, and pull it off. You have to be that guy. And the way you're going to do that is by training. You have to practice. And you have to be held accountable amongst other men who are extremely capable in all realms. You can't be hanging around with losers because losers will allow you to lose. You need to be hanging around with winners because winners will not allow you to lose. We hate losers. We don't even like them around us. They stain our air. There are people like me who wake up and think, I want more. I already have everything I could ever think of. I already have enough money to buy everything I could ever dream of. I can't even think of anything on the planet I want. Don't care. There are people like me that exist, and you have to compete against people like me. It's player versus player. My entire life is work. And when I say that, people think that's depressing. No, it's not. It's not depressing. I love it. You need goals and resistance and something to fight against to live well, because the distance between pain and joy is what we experience. If you only have joy all of the time and no pain, you are not going to be happy. You don't need fun. Fun is the vector from which destruction operates. Every time you look at something which is fun, it's all just hedonistic. There's no money to be made. You don't retire your mother. You don't help the world. You don't give to charity. You don't become stronger. You don't become wiser. You don't learn anything. Patience is how they trick you into keep being a slave. I turned myself from no money to my first million in 2 years to 30 million 3 years later. That's how fast you can make money if you're about money, right? So I've never believed in patience. You got to forget the patience. You got to forget the people who aren't about money around you. It's got to be all you think about, all you talk about. You're going to start producing. And if you do all those things, you will start to make some money. But next time you're sitting with your friends, this is a challenge for every single person watching this. Next time you're sitting with your friends, unprompted, come and sit down and just join in the conversation. And after about 20 seconds, sit and think, this is garbage. They're talking about this football game, this guy. This is not going to make any of us rich. I am wasting my life. You know, it's amazing. We go from children to adults, and when you're a kid, you expect adults to be smart. And it's the same with fame and money, right? I went from absolute no money to super wealthy and nobody knowing me to famous. Everyone's an idiot. I'm telling you now, there's very few impressive people on this planet. You can go meet Elon Musk, who I actually quite like. I've never met him as an example. Richest man in the world, or a politician, or a superstar. You meet these people and you're like, how? Seriously? That's what you think in your head. I'm just sitting there like, how? Usually because they sold their soul to the Matrix. That's how they pull it off. But they're not impressive people. There's nothing special about them. Everyone in here could surpass any of them. They're not that special. They're not that impressive as individuals. I'm going to say something very logical to people at home. And if you're stupid, you're not going to understand it. But if you're smart, it's not that difficult a concept. There is no light without dark. 5,000 years ago, the Chinese drew yin and yang for a reason. They are linked. They go together. There is no such thing as a successful person without a failure. Without the failures, there's no success. You need both. For there to be winners, there has to be losers. Therefore, if God is going to give you the chance to become a successful person, He has to make it difficult. He has to lay out a gauntlet. Because within that gauntlet, some people will quit and they can go become losers, which allow the people who do not quit to be winners. Fran Parp once he take E, recipe despite BLY, you have to wake up and go. You know what? I'm responsible for my health, and I'm responsible for my finances, and I'm responsible for my family, and I'm responsible for the decisions I make, and I'm responsible for my work ethic, and I'm responsible for my motivation, and I'm going to win. That's all you have to do to be monumentally wealthy. And the reason it is so easy is because most people can't do that. If everyone could do that, then to win would be hard. The primary objective of financial freedom isn't Lambos and yachts and these things. It's to not have constant anxiety, stress, and worry and complaints about health, or your mother needs you, or your car breaking down. It's just knowing that all of life's little problems can be fixed because you have money, because you can pay someone else to fix them. The car you want, the reason it's so expensive is because other people want it. The beautiful woman, everyone wants her. Everything about life as a man is war. It is conflict because you are competing against the other men who want it the same. Life is war. This idea that you can go through life as a man and avoid war, it's probably the biggest mistake that most men make. Running a business is war. Running an online company, it's war. Life as a man is war. You need to wake up and view it exactly as what it is. Everything I desire, other men are trying to get. This is a war and I must outcompete them. Even in jail was a war for who could stay most calm. A war for who could suffer the least. I was surrounded by people who lost their minds, and I refused. It was a battle. While others complain that they do not feel happy enough, I'm happy I'm struggling. Do you understand? I don't care. I'm happy to be struggling. That is the beauty of life as a man, to be great. If you concern yourself only with being happy, you are once again acting like a female or child. Happiness is fleeting. I want to be happy. Who cares? I want to be great. And let me ask you a question. As a man at home, genuinely, truthfully, would you rather be a loser who's always smiling, or would you rather be a stressed winner? Because I'll tell you something about winners. Most of them are stressed. So you have to sit here and ask yourself, do you want to be a happy loser that's insignificant? Nobody knows you exist. Women don't respect you. Nobody cares if you live or die. You get to smile all the time. Or do you want to be one of the most important people on the planet with a little bit of stress? If you stop caring about being happy and you start caring instead about being great, guess what? You end up happy along with great. You end up happy if you forget about happiness and try to become great. You will never be successful if you're concerned about being happy. So forget about it. As enemies attempt to attack your energy and lower your vibration, understand this. Power is untouchable. Sometimes power is simply not giving a care. If you're already working hard, you're already going to the gym, you make sure that you're getting as much muscle as possible, as much money as possible, and you don't waste your time. You don't smoke weed. You don't play video games. You can just ignore that girl. That girl who broke your heart or cheated on you, the most powerful move you can make is ignore her because you're on your ascent. She is likely on her descent. You're going to continue your ascent, and she's going to have to watch you for the rest of her life be the man that she could have been with that she's no longer good enough for. And if you're on the right path doing the right things, Karma God, whatever you want to call it, is going to teach them a lesson for simply failing to be a good person to you while they had the chance. If you're not strong, you don't love anybody. And I mean that. If you love your women and you love your children, you're strong. If you sit and say, I love them, but I'm tired. Men are based on their utility. We are based on what we can do for others. That's what we're based on. If you're going to work. You're going to chill. You don't want to be a dim light that's half on. You want to do one or the other. Now, I find chilling and relaxing, I guess my personality makes it easy, extremely stressful. There's nothing more stressful for me than trying to not do my work. Because if I'm not doing my work, then I'm thinking about the work I'm supposed to do. And I'm more stressed than doing the work. So everyone goes, Andrew, you need to just chill. I'm like, that sounds terrible. That sounds like the most stressful situation to be in. So all I want to do is work. As a man with enough money to never work again for the rest of his life, I'm spending my days consciously searching and actively planning and trying to identify trends and new ways to make money and new patterns to make sure that I'm not caught last when things do finally shift or change. But a broke guy with no money at all doesn't matter. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you where you cannot type on a keyboard to achieve all of your dreams? What is wrong with you where you cannot go to the gym and lift enough weights to be self-confident enough to get any woman that you desire? Do you want to lose? Are you so desperate to permanently fail? It's not a lack of motivation. It's you who have a personality fault. There is something wrong with you that is preventing you from being the man that you could be. And this is the beauty of life as a man. There's nothing better than blaming yourself for absolutely everything that's ever happened to you. Waking up and realizing it was all your fault, and you're the only one who can fix it. 99.9% of girl problems are your fault. It's not women are crazy. It's because she doesn't respect you enough, because you haven't done anything which is important or difficult enough to garner her respect. That is your problem. 100% your problem, and you must take responsibility and accountability for that exact thing. Life as a man is so brutally simple. You wake up and you blame yourself for everything. You look in the mirror and you say, all of this is my fault. So how do I get it fixed? Nobody gives a care about you. You have to give a care about yourself. It is down to you and you alone, because nobody else is waking up each day thinking of how they can get you to have more money and you to have a nicer life. They're too busy worried about themselves. If you're a broke guy, you don't even love anybody. You don't even love yourself. That's the level that's reached now at this point where the world's so messed up. When I see a person at 40 years of age with no money and no drive, I really want to make it out. You don't give a care about your family. You don't give a care about your last name. You don't give a care about anybody. I don't like you because I'm a trier. We have different life philosophies. I can't get along with you. We can't correlate. I'm a trier. You're refusing to try. I don't like those people because those people, every time I've ever tried to give them a chance, has nothing but drag me down. I can't drag them up. I can't get them anywhere, but they manage to anchor me. So if you're a full-grown man and you're watching this and you do not have the capability to take your entire family and move to Tokyo tomorrow, if you don't have that kind of finance or capability, you take a long, hard look in the mirror and say, what does my love even mean? What kind of head of the family even am I? I can say I love my wife all day long. I can say I love my kids all day long. What does that even mean if I'm not going to finish work and take an extra hour out of my day to try something new? Your love means nothing if you don't. How to stop being a normal man. The normal income, the normal life, the normal house, the normal job, the normal city. Normal is gone. There's no more normal. There is only poverty. There is only impoverished slaves. And your chance to not live as an impoverished slave is to not be a normal person. It is exceptional or slave. Middle class is gone. Normal everyday life of the law-abiding citizen is gone. It is all gone. The burden of performance is larger than ever before because you can no longer simply just do okay. You have to do great. You have to do amazingly. You have to do better than anyone else you've ever known has done. You have to do better than you ever thought you would do. You have to do better than your entire family's ever done. You have to be the most successful member of your family ever just to have a life where you're not stabbed to death on the bus, where you're not attacked on a subway, or you don't end up sitting there wondering how you can pay your bills because your money is worth less than ever before. Your only chance is exceptionalism. Millionaire is not aspirational. Millionaire is the bare minimum acceptable stand to live a life of prosperity. To live a happy, nice, safe, comfortable life, you need to be a millionaire minimum. And if you understand all of this and you still lack motivation, then you deserve to stay asleep. Guess how many people can retire from the income of their own personal resources when it comes time to retire? Answer 5%. In the most independent country in the world, 95% are dependent, 5% are independent. Take charge of your own life. Take charge of your own day. Take charge of your own conversation. Take charge of your own family. Take charge of your own possibilities. Join the 5%. Walk away from the 95%. I'm telling you, don't talk like they talk. Lend a helping hand, but don't fall into their poor philosophical scenario. Don't use the excuses they use. It's called the language of the poor. Switch ideas, switch strategy. Start with the simplest of disciplines. And if you'll invest in this thing called discipline, you can have whatever you wish. It's called the beginning miracle. Here's what you need to understand. Normal is dead. There is exceptional or there is slave. Life as a man is war. Everything you want, other men want too. Would you rather be a happy loser or a stressed winner? Because winners are stressed and losers smile while they fail. If you're not strong, you don't love anybody. Your love means nothing if you won't work an extra hour. Millionaire is not aspirational. It's the bare minimum. Take charge. Join the 5%, walk away from the 95%, and become the man you should be.